What is the difference between film festivals and film markets? That's super important, and I have mentioned it before. How to get your accreditation? Define your goals. That's super important, because if you don't know what you're gonna do in the market, then it's better that you don't go, because going to a film market is expensive, I have to tell you. Welcome to another episode of Film and Business Podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything that happens behind the camera, the strategy, the business, and the mindset it takes to get your film seen around the world. I'm your host, Rosa Camero, film producer and founder of Ramiro AI, the AI assistant that helps filmmakers like you organize and execute your film marketing and distribution strategy step by step. Today, we are talking about one of my favorite topics, and one that many filmmakers get completely wrong: how to navigate international markets like America Film Market, Cannes, or Berlinale. Because here's the thing: attending these events without a plan is like showing up to a premiere without your film. It's like, oops, I forgot it. When you attend these markets, you'll be surrounded by opportunities, but you won't know how to make the most of them. So let's fix that. And if you're here because you want to navigate film markets in the right way, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to prepare, what to bring, and how to connect with the right people so you can actually move your film forward. What are you gonna learn in this episode? What is the difference between film festivals and film markets? That's super important, and I have mentioned it before. How to get your accreditation? Define your goals. That's super important, because if you don't know what you're gonna do in the market, then it's better that you don't go, because going to a film market is expensive, I have to tell you. Build your database and the people you want to meet with, connect before you arrived, and follow up after the market. So let's start with the beginning. Okay, so what is film festivals and what is a film market? We have the wrong idea that film festivals is the same as film markets, and that's completely wrong. They're not the same. It's not the same people who attend these two events, and you need to make sure that you know where is each one of them. A film festival is where your film is the protagonist. You send your film, you submit your film. You can do it in any platform. You submit your film gets selected, you have a premiere, maybe you have a screening, you have maybe a red carpet, depending on how big the film festival is. You might have like some marketing and some PR around your film, but your film is the most important there. You are invited as either film director or film producer, either if you are an actor, they will invite you to come and talk about your film. Again, depending how big or how small this film festival is, you get more perks. And of course, everyone wants to be in the A-list film festivals. This is Cannes, Berlinale, Toronto, and many others. But this is completely different from a film market. Film market is where you go and sell films. It's actually you buy films. Is all the negotiations and deals are close in a film market. Of course, it can be before or after you can close a deal, but film markets are known for that. It's like a conference, let's say, but you also go and make deals and find the right people to buy your film and stream your film, and you find sales agents, film distributors there. Film festivals, of course, you can find distributors and sales agents, but it's like very specific, and maybe they're looking for a very specific content for whatever they're buying for. So a film market, you can see all kind of genres, deals, big streaming platforms, exhibitors, sales agents, from really small to really big. And the most important, like American Film Market, Cannes, and Berlinale, they're like there are 3 film markets that are super important around the world. There are more, but these 3 have something important, that they cover different regions of different regions of the world. So that's the difference between film markets and film festivals. And now you know it is time for you to get ready and get accredited. When you choose a film market route, it's like submitting your film to film festivals. You have to have a plan. As I said, everything starts with a plan, with a strategy. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve with your film? Do you want to sell it? Do you want to find a distributor, a sales agent? So this means that you have to have a plan for the film markets that you want to attend. Also, you can go very specific. So this means if your film is a horror or is animation, there are specific film markets for those different genres. So yes, you can go to Cannes. Cannes is independent. You can see all kind of genres there, but you can also find others like that are smaller that also can give you the same outcome. So in your film market plan, let's make sure that you have like important markets, but also have like maybe not that important, but they might bring something to the table. And of course, when you decide your plan, you need to get accredited. The accreditation, it costs between maybe 300 to up to 1,500. For example, Midcom. Midcom is a very large film market, and also broadcasters come there and they commission films, and it's very much into the deals of content, like large amounts of content that you sell there. And the accreditation can cost up to 1,800. So depending of your budget, depending how much money you want to spend in that, you choose the different markets that you want to attend. And once that you decide that, you get accreditation. And of course, after you get accreditation, you have access to a database. But before we get into the database and how to build the network, or how to build the meetings that you want to get in that festival, you have to define your goals. What are all the goals when you're attending this film market? It means that what is the plan? Like, do you want to find a sales agent? Do you want to find a film distributor? Do you want to do it yourself? Do you want to go directly to a streaming platforms and sell them? Do you want to get local distribution or worldwide distribution? So depending where you are with your film and depending what you want to do with it, you might define, I'll go like small and I find a sales agent, or I can go big. Or maybe you are in development. Not necessarily you need to go and sell films finished. You can start with the business side like very early on from development. So if you're in development, you can have pre-sales, and then pre-sales are selling to sales agents, other production companies that are bigger than you, or distributors that you also give some money if they like the film. It doesn't happen as often as before, because of course now it's less money and a lot more films to buy from. So it is true that it's getting more and more difficult to get an MG, that's a minimum guarantee, when they want to get your film, and that means that they kind of like bought the rights before it's finished, and that means that you cannot sell your film in that territory because they already gave you money, so they cannot give you an advance of what is costing your film. So right now it's more and more difficult to have an MG, but if you have a good product, you have a good film, I mean, it can happen for your film. So just be aware of all this vocabulary. So when you talk to these bigger producers or film distributors or sales agents, you know the language and they don't take you for he or she doesn't know anything. So it's better if like you need to be aware of the vocabulary they use, so they know their game. And that's why we have this podcast, so you get ready for those meetings and you can talk their language, and it will be easier for you because they already talk your language and they understand the story and the creativity, but they are worried or they care about selling. They care about making money with films. So the films that they get, they want to make sure they make money. Maybe they don't, but they need to make sure that you are in the same page. So after you define your goals attending that film market, you can build your database. When you sign up and buy your accreditation, you have access to the people who is attending the market. So before you could actually download the database, so you had access to that. Now it's a lot more complicated. So that means they have systems, and they have a way for them to share the contacts with you. Sometimes you have even a chat and kind of connect with the people inside the platform. Sometimes they have Sinando. I'm sorry to tell you, but Sinando is horrible, doesn't work. You can supposed to work as a networking platform, but actually you just get access to it and you see who is attending, and then you need to move to another platform. So you need to build your database, who you want to meet with, and also because you want to meet, of course, everyone wants to meet with the big ones, right? Like everyone who has like these connections and has a bigger network than you, or more important network than you. And normally those people are busy. But if you try and in a way that they see you and they can see who you are, they will say yes to have a meeting with you. So don't get disappointed when you don't hear from them. So there are different ways for you to connect with them. And I don't do emails. Of course I do if I have to follow up, but also what I do, I use social media. I mean, everyone is on social media right now, and LinkedIn works wonderfully. I mean, I have to tell you, that's the way I connect with people. And just having access to just click on your profile and see who you are and what you do, it can open doors instead of an email, because email is like, okay, another email. It's like you just put it on the side and they might never come back to you. Plus, it's a lot of junk mail in the email. I was talking to a film distributor recently, and he is the CEO, and he said you should see the amount of emails that I receive every day, and plus all the junk that they send from the film festivals and film markets. Because if you're attending, you get your accreditation, you get into this mailing list, and they send you so many emails. And because they have access to your contact, so you end up in many mailing lists that you didn't ask for, but you, of course, you gave permission, because when you accredited, you said yes, I want to hear from others, and they receive so many emails. So sometimes it's very difficult for them to follow up in the email. But if you connect in another social media network, then it's easier. It works for me, and I want to share my own process, so it might be good for you and you can execute it. So what I do is I check who is attending. In this case, for example, American Film Market and Sinando, I think Berlinale too, they are connected to Sinando. So American Film Market, Cannes, and Berlinale are connected to Sinando. And Sinando works in a way that you can see who is attending. So you see who is attending, and then what I do is I look for the people that I'm looking for, depending where is my project or what is my goal. Then I look for the people. It's very difficult to connect with everyone, because it's like thousands of people going to markets, and sometimes you don't want to talk to everyone. You have like a specific profile that you want to target. So you need to know your audience. And after that, when I see who is attending, I go into my LinkedIn and find them there. So I connect with them. Either I am connected with them already, or I am not, and then I added them. I don't send any messages, I just connect with them. And then when they accept me, I send a message, like a very short, friendly message saying, I am attending this market. Are you attending? Will you be open for a meeting? Really short, like sometimes between 3 and 5 lines, no more. I don't introduce myself. I don't say anything about myself. I don't send any links, anything on my film, because they can click into my profile and they can see what I do. So it's not necessary that I introduce myself, because they have access to my profile. And when you send like very long messages, it can be overwhelming, and you don't want to read long messages from people that you don't know. So it's like a very simple, short message between 3 and 5 lines that works. And I'm telling you, it works. Once they reply your message, you can start negotiating the hours. When are you coming? Always remember to ask for their telephone number, WhatsApp, or and their email. So you are connected to them, because what happens is when you get into the market, it's so big, you need to know where they are, like where are the places to meet and things like that, that there's a lot of show offs, or they don't find the place, or they forget, or they are busy. So you are in contact communication with the people who you're meeting with. So it's like, hey, I'm here, hey, where should we meet? Very instant communication. WhatsApp works perfectly. Or if you have an iPhone and the other person has iPhone, also messages work really well. So remember to ask them for their email, WhatsApp number if you can call them. So don't worry if you feel like you're going like very deep into, oh, can you give me your contact information? That's completely normal, and you need it. So don't hesitate when you are closing the meetings and asking for their personal information. And then, okay, now it's time for you to attend the field market. Also, you need to, I mean, you don't need to, but it's nice to attend parties. And sometimes they have parties that are sponsored by distributors, or like brands or whatever are sponsored in the field market. So you can go to field markets, and many people have dinners, and they get together with other people who attend film festivals. Maybe they are related, maybe they have maybe they already know their people, and they have friends, they haven't seen each other. It's like once that you start attending these film festivals, you get to see the kind of the same people who attends. So you have this kind of like circle friends for film markets, and then you go to dinner, or you have a party, or you do that different things. So once you're there, remember to have fun as well. Also, bring your marketing materials. So what you need to do is bring in that marketing material. And what I mean is like you don't need to take the poster with you, but having a card. So what I do with my films is I have a card, either like a presentation card, and then I have the poster in one side, and the other part in the other side I have the contact information. And then I also do postcards. So I have postcards, and they're really cool, and they have a QR. So I have a landing page for each one of my films that I'm producing and I'm working on. So we have a landing page, and then they can see all the information there. So I don't need to take with me either a pitch deck, a slide deck, something print, nothing extraordinary, because people is just on a hurry. They want to go and go really really fast. So they don't want something big. I mean, they will throw it away. So the easiest, the better. So they have a QR. They can go into your landing page. It doesn't matter if you're in development. You can have the information of your film. And it is important anyway. I mean, it is important that you have information about your film, because they will ask for it. So you have your marketing material. Last time that I went to Cannes, I had a few tote bags printed for Ramiro AI, and I did only 3. So it's only 3. It was for me to wear on the film market every day, so people could kind of like see the Ramiro AI and could read a little bit. And it has a QR. I don't know if anyone scanned the QR, but I know people now, when they see the tote bag, they see, you have a tote bag of a Ramiro. So now it's getting recognized. So just having a tote bag, it was like really simple. It wasn't expensive, and people start asking about it. So that's your marketing material. Simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. And then you attended the film market. You have your marketing material. You already had your meetings, and it's finished, right? So it's like 3-4 days, whatever days that you are attending the film market, it's gone. Like, it goes so fast. It goes so quickly that the next thing that you need to do is to take the plane or whatever, or going home. And then the next days you need to follow up. So maybe you wait maybe 2 or 3 days after everyone is arrived, the market finish, wrap up, and you need to follow up. Now is the time for you to follow up with the people you met at the market, and either say thank you because you met, even though maybe you didn't reach any like agreement, but it's always good to say thank you because we met, and then they can remember you. And then second, if you got something, like if you close a collaboration, if someone is gonna connect you to someone else and you need to remind them, it is time for you to do it. So don't just leave the contacts there, but it's like follow up each one of the contacts that you had a meeting with, or maybe you couldn't because sometimes it's a lot of no show offs, or they cancel because they can, because they have a very busy agenda. So then you follow up for you to have a in-person meeting or a meeting or a Zoom call, and then you follow up with them, whatever the topic is. But super important that you follow up after you go home and the film market it's ending. I have to say I have closed very nice collaborations after each market, depending what you want to do. One of my objectives in the last market, it was having more connections with film distributors, sales agents that have like kids content, and then also was finding collaborations for Ramiro AI, and then finding investors. Finding investors is like that's a tricky one. Everything else it just goes well, but investors, just finding them, and then they're legit and they don't disappear. That's another topic for another video. Really, like, yeah, we need to talk about it. But anyway, you have my process, you have the way I prepare myself for a film market, and now it's your turn. So just comment below and tell me where is the next market that you are attending, and if it's clear what is film market and a film festival. And just to close this episode, number 1, buy your accreditation. Number 2, define your goals. Number 3, build your database. Number 4, connect before you arrived. 5, bring your materials, marketing materials. And number 6, follow up. That's how you navigate international film markets like American Film Market, Cannes, or Berlinale. If you have any other strategy and has worked for you, just please share in the comments so other people can also follow your journey and how it is for you when you go to film markets. And remember, always have a strategy, have clarity and confidence. And of course, confidence sometimes doesn't come alone, and it's difficult sometimes to have it, but you practice, and practice always gives you more of what you need and want. If you need any help organizing your marketing materials, tracking meetings, or following up with leads, you can always use Ramiro AI, or you can work with me directly. Ramiro AI can help you to build your marketing plan, your strategy for that field market, organize your contacts, and manage everything in one place. You can find that at ramiro.ai. Thank you for listening to another episode of Film and Business Market. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. If you find this episode helpful, it helps more filmmakers find this show. See you next week. And actually, this is one of the last episodes of this season. So let me know what you think, if it's been helpful. And see you next time. Bye.